Hey guys, welcome to WhiskyWise with me, Jason, bringing you whiskey review number 20, where we're going to review the Glenmorangie Lasanta. So this is kind of exciting because we've got to our 20th review and we're going to review the whole Glenmorangie range, the core range, throughout these upcoming reviews. If you missed it, check the original, which was in the last video. So this is the Glenmorangie Lasanta. As you can see it over there. This is actually the one that's bottled at 43%. There's a older one which is at 46%, and if you did miss the other video, I picked it up in this Explorer set, which contains the original and the Quintaruba, which will follow in the upcoming reviews. And I do also have the Nectar d'Or. So 4 whiskies which comprise of Glenmorangie's range to make the core series. So we're going to pour ourselves a dram, and then I'll go through the whiskey review in the style I do. I think that's perfect. So, as I do my review style structure, the Glenmorangie Lasanta is a 12-year-old whiskey. It is bottled at an ABV of 43%, and the cask selection they do use in this one is the American white oak casks, which are used for initially 10 years. American white oak, which is the ex-bourbon casks, used for 10 years and then transferred for 2 remaining years in Oloroso Sherry and Pedro Jimenez casks, and that comprises to make your 12-year age statement. Now, the distillery itself is the Glenmorangie Distillery, and the parent company for them is Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. Now, this actual distillery is based in the Highlands in Scotland, which I'll leave a picture of over there. And the price point of view, this whiskey ranges from, I've seen it, £45 all the way up to £55, different places in London that I do go to. So do have a check at your local shop, and it should be within that price range if you do the conversion charges. So it's around about that much for the 70cl. I haven't seen a 1 litre bottle, but probably is there somewhere in travel retail, somewhere in the world. Now, in terms of exclusivity, it's not exclusive. You can get this literally global as it is part of the core range. And in terms of colouring, this one doesn't state caramel colouring, so I believe, like the original, it is natural colour. But I don't feel you get too much of the influence. So anyway, let's get into the review, because I want to keep this one short, under 5 minutes, or even around about that. In terms of the actual colour and appearance of this whiskey, it does have a slight reddy hue to it. So I can definitely see it's got that rich sherry influence to it, but it's not so long. It's got maybe, I'd go with an ambery reddy hue, maybe even a coppery red. Let's go with that, because it's not so heavy, but at the same time you can see those little red hints in there. So, onto the nose. So straight away on the nose of this whiskey, that was quite a nice nose over there. It's bottled at 43%, very easily noseable. I'm getting that very sweet honey and more to Mayuka honey. Quite rich as well, syrupy. I'm getting the sherry fruits, and I'm picking out those raisins. I'm picking out a little bit of plums. Let me have another nose. And also a little bit of orange that sits in the back with a little spice. So it's all there, and the orange actually seems to dominate the nose a little bit more in the end. Yeah, orange seems to be there quite consistent. So quite a bit of orange in this one. You're going to get the natural sherried influence from the Pedro Jimenez and Oloroso casks. So quite nice and rich. So let's get into the palate now. Onto the palate. It's quite juicy, and then it dries itself out a little bit. I don't know why. But the texture is a medium texture to it. I'm straight away getting the bitterness of an orange, and this is like very sun-dried oranges, but it dries out the palate a little bit. I'm getting dark cocoa chocolate, maybe around about 80 to 90%. It's not really rich, heavy cocoa, but in that bracket. I'm also picking out a little bit of cinnamon, which gives it a little spice influence, and it feels like you're having cinnamon powder on your tongue. So if any of you have done the cinnamon challenge, that's what it feels like. It feels like it dries out with the spice and the sweetness. And I'm going to have a second sip, see what other notes I can pick out. So after the second sip, I'm picking out the sherried fruits, prunes. I'm actually picking out what appears like plum skins. It's very dry. It's not actually like the sweet richness inside. It's like the dryness from the outside. And I'm also getting a slight nuttiness like walnuts. And then the orange comes back and it plays itself there, kind of like a blood orange. So very nice on the actual palate, but we're going to get now into the finish of this whiskey. So on the finish of this whiskey, I'm picking out spiced oranges. And it feels like if you ever got an orange towards winter time and you put cloves in it and you put it in the oven just to bake it ever so slightly, you get the nice rich citrus note, and you get the little hints and like bursts of spice. That's what I'm picking out on this one. It also does have a slight sultanas a very juicy effect on it. And also, like butterscotch, it goes very sweet with a slight residue of orange citrus notes, which are really nice. I think that's not a bad whiskey in itself. So my overall review of the whiskey itself would probably be, I actually like this whiskey. If you compare it to other sherry bomb whiskies that there are out there in the market, it's not going to be up there in contender with going really thick in texture. This one actually stays quite like a medium body. It doesn't thicken too much. I'm going to give it an 86 out of 100. I was initially going to give it an 85, but after having that sort of second sip, I feel it balances quite nicely. It's would have probably tried myself, like to try the 46%, which they did discontinue. But all in all, that citrus note stays very consistent. If you're getting into your sherried whiskies, give this one a try, as it's something quite nice. And it's not a sherry monster, but it has its own respect about it. So anyway, that's going to be it for the review. Hopefully you did enjoy. By all means, feel free to drop it a like, subscribe, check out my other Glenmorangie reviews, which will be over here. And drop the subscribe button over here. I almost knocked that out. But yeah, this has been Jason from WhiskyWise, and I'll catch you all for the next video.